again with an interesting piece. This is going to be a review on the Green Ecozilla, and just as a comparison, just want to start off showing the original, the iconic, the well-known and feared the Ecozilla, also known as the ashtray, for obvious reasons. Obviously a huge piece of metal, a big chunk of a watch, and well, for those who like big watches and who like chunky watches, if you have enough of this stainless steel version, there's a new one which is also stainless steel, but it's in this green kind of camouflage color, military green or camouflage green, basically identical specs. Although I would argue there may be some slight differences, but we'll have a look at that in a second. So this is the BN8057, I think it's called, and the Green Ecozilla, or Ecozilla, is the name that it goes by. It's a huge watch. It's a 300-meter water-resistant dive watch. No doubt about that. I mean, the original version that I showed just now, in this kind of stainless steel color, has been around for many years. You love it or you hate it. It's just, for many people, unwearable. It's just too big, too heavy. But there's no doubt about it. If you really are into diving, then it just ticks the boxes on all the important things that you need for a reliable dive watch. And it was always a very, let's say, affordable watch. You got a lot of steel for the money you paid. And now we get this beautiful gunmetal gray stainless steel version with this nice green. The dial comes also in this green kind of camouflage color, which, yeah, is not really necessary for diving. I mean, the other one is perfect for diving. This would just be maybe something to add in a little color, or to be a little different than the normal one. As you can see, we have the well-known bezel, actually the 60-click bezel in this case, yeah, with the reliable action. You can slot your fingers in the ashtray, and it goes around in steps of a minute. We have a loom pip at the top, and there you go, lines up at the 12 o'clock position. The only difference here I could see is that this pip is convex, and the one on the original one is actually concave, so a slight difference there. The well-known bezel with this ashtray design and these huge, the 4 here is huge minute numbers here. Of course, let's say in terms of legibility, obviously the original one is simply the functional one. I mean, there's no overlooking the markings. You can see them straight away. The green one is slightly less visible. I agree on that. But of course, I mean, the whole theme of this watch is this kind of camouflage. So yeah, in terms of let's say desk diving, not underwater, this certainly has a very cool look to it. The lettering is the same except for the 300-meter over here, which is in red. We have these kind of contrasting colors. We have the minute hand in red, seconds hand in red, and the rest in this kind of milky white or bright light color. 300-meter water resist, so no helium escape valve. It's simply, we have to assume that it is simply airtight, and that it will, let's say, be able to remain keep the water out at that kind of a depth. We have a day marker there at the 3 o'clock position, a date, just a date wheel with very simple, it's quite small, but it's black on white font, so easy to read. And we can see the 3 o'clock position is loomed, 6425 ISO compliant. Eco Drive, so this has the well-known Eco Drive movement, lithium-ion battery that is charged by daylight or artificial light. Basically any kind of light is enough to charge this thing and keep it running, and it will run for decades. One improvement that immediately strikes the eye, or especially when you feel it, is this wristband, which is not silicone, it's polyurethane, but it has a very soft touch to it, very nice feel to it. So it's a very nice kind of improvement compared to the old one. The old one was a bit almost plastic, hard kind of material. Now we have this very soft material. Now in terms of the this buckle or the locking system here, if you ask me, this is one of the best straps in the industry. It really, as you can see at the front of the strap, we have a slight thickened end, which basically, if it's in the keeper, it will prevent it from slipping out. And we have this double locking system, which you put it in here, and then after you, and actually it is slightly wider than the buckle, so another safety feature, preventing it from slipping out too easy. So it basically slots in here, and then you put it in here. So you have this double locking system, which makes it, I would say, almost impossible to lose. So absolutely fantastic in terms of functionality, really made for diving, made for preventing any loss. The strap is long enough for big wrists, so no issues there. As we know it from the stainless steel colored version, we have this really nice case back with this iconic historical dive helmet, and yeah, just the usual information down there. B873 caliber, which is this Eco Drive, basically a quad system with a self-charging or light charging battery. We have this case back is screwed down, and we have this locking system there, an outside ring in black, which if you want to replace the strap, you can basically remove. So a very safe system there. Other than that, yeah, we have a nice knurling here on the, actually it's not the bezel, it's the outside of the watch. The bezel, as you can see, is actually on the inside, a ring, but a nice knurling there. We have a well protected screw down crown for the adjustment of time and date. So very functional, and if you wear it on the left hand side, you have very little or a very comfortable wear due to the crown is on the left hand side. So this is either a watch for left-handers who wear it on the right hand side, or in terms of dive watch, you have it on the left hand and then it's protected. You don't have to access this very often anyway. I mean, basically you don't have to access it at all, so it doesn't matter that it's on the left hand side. That really is not an issue at all. Now, looking at the watches, the only differences that I think, or maybe it's just my perception, is that the hour hand, that it's slightly smaller on the new version. And looking at the finder here, I do see Either it's an optical illusion or it really is smaller. Also looking at the hour markers, like at the 6 o'clock position, 12 o'clock, they somehow look smaller, more dainty. Not sure whether that is the case, but look at the minutes hand also looks like it's a little bit smaller. I would say minimally smaller. I do prefer the bigger one. On a big watch, big indicators I think are good, but it's the difference is really so minimal that it really, I mean, you have to look twice, and honestly I'm not 100% sure whether it is the case. As you can see, the hour hand has a slight outline in black, so that could be the optical illusion in this case. All right, I think that more or less sums up everything, the main key factors of this watch. I think it's still, even though the color maybe is something, a matter of taste, but I mean, this watch is still an incredible dive watch, a great piece, and I would say anybody who likes this kind of big watch, I mean 48mm diameter, around about, I think almost 19 thickness, so it's a big piece. The crystal, we have a mineral crystal, shatterproof and anti-reflective coating there. It is well recessed, so protected. The other one I've had for many years, no scratches, so that is not an issue. All right, guys, thanks for listening, and if you watched until now, maybe consider to subscribe. You'd help me to grow the channel a bit. All right, thanks, bye.